Hey guys, Matt here from TechRate Reviews, and today I'm going to show you my tips and tricks to properly cable manage your desk. And once you're done, you shouldn't be able to see any cables, and your desk should seem a lot cleaner and more open. Before I get into the video, I just want to add, if you have a solid desk like mine, where you can't see through it at all, it really does help with cable management, as it hides a bunch of the wires for you. But if you have a glass desk like I did in my desk tour a couple years ago, you can still use these same tips and tricks and hide pretty much all of the wires. So it doesn't matter what kind of desk you have, but it is easier if you have a solid desk. Down below in the description, I'm going to have links to the two products I use to help me get this wire-free experience. They're both incredibly useful and available for a relatively low price on Amazon, so I definitely recommend picking those up if you can. The first of these products is called the Cable Zipper, and basically what it does is you take the cables that you want to hide, feed them to the included accessory, and then zip it up, and the cables that you want to hide are now inside the cable and aren't visible. But the good thing about this is it has slots all throughout the cable, so that if you need to have a cable come out to connect to something at some point, you simply pull it to the point where you want, and then the cable is outside of the cable and you can plug it into anything you need. These are especially useful if you want to hide wires that are coming from a power outlet to the device they're plugged into, since you can just put them all together and pretty much hide them, or hide them under something. And then I also ran one under my desk, and I supported it by connecting 3 L brackets together and screwing those into the bottom of my desk, and then I simply laid the cable zipper along it and put all the cables inside it. And then when I have a monitor on my desk or some other thing I need to connect to, I simply pulled the cable up at that point, and I was able to easily access it while keeping most of it hidden. While this may seem slightly messy when you're looking at it now, when you're in the room or sitting at the desk, you really don't see these wires at all as they're so high up off the ground. The only time you're really ever going to see it is if you're looking directly under the desk, and if you're really worried about it, you could put something in front of it to cover up the cable zipper, and then you really wouldn't see any wires. However, for me this works perfectly and I didn't need to cover it up. The one limitation of the cable zipper is it only has a diameter of 1 inch, so if you're running particularly thick cables or just have a lot of them, you may either need to get a larger size cable zipper or a second one, as it can only fit so many cables. The second product I'm going to talk about are these Velcro cable ties. They're essentially like zip ties but made out of Velcro, and what they allow you to do is take multiple cables and group them together so that they won't spread out everywhere, and even if you can't hide them, at least they'll look more organized now. I find these particularly useful for consolidating the cables behind a monitor. As you can see, I did it on both of mine, and also for running cables up and down the legs of my desk and hiding them from view. To do this is really simple. You just take the cables that you want to hide, wrap a cable tie around them, and then attach the whole thing to the leg of the desk, and make sure you tighten it very strongly or else it might slide down and cables might start showing. But as long as you tighten it very strongly and then rotate it so the cables are hidden behind it, you really shouldn't be able to see any. But if you still do, it's most likely you just need to use more cable ties. For a single leg on my desk, I'd use around 6 cable ties, and I was only told a few cables, so you may need to use fewer or more depending on how many cables and how tall your desk is. The final thing I want to talk about are cable drops, and these are just little devices that you attach to the side or back of your desk that give you super easy access to the cables you might use to plug in an accessory to your computer or charge your phone. I have 4 on my desk. I have 2 on the far left side, which I put micro USB cables in so that I can charge my phone and tablet, and then I put 2 vertically on the back of my desk, and I use this so I can plug in devices like the microphone I'm using to record this right now, and they're super easy to attach. I just put some double-sided tape on the bottom of one and then stuck it to whatever surface I wanted it to stay to. If you want to get some of these, you can either pick some up online for a couple dollars, which I'll leave some links to down below in the description, or on Thingiverse you can 3D print them, which I'll also leave a link to. Or if you really don't want to buy or print anything new, you can actually just use binder clips and run the cable through there. I've done it many times before and it's not as good as these, but it still works very well. This last thing isn't really cable management, but I featured this front mounted USB hub in my desk tour, and a lot of you thought it was really interesting, so I thought I'd show it here again. And I just simply took a cable from my computer and taped it to the underside of my desk, and then used double-sided tape to stick the USB and SD card readers to the front of my desk. and it's just a much easier way so I'm not always having to reach around behind my computer to find the USB ports. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up down below. It really helps out, and also if you have any questions about cable management or tech in general, leave a comment down below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I hope to see you guys in the next video, and thanks for watching.